بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. As you remember, we started the chapter about mutual love among the brothers. And the third hadith was from Imam Baqir alayhi salam. This was the hadith that we discussed, which said that if you want to understand whether you are on the right track, whether there is something good in you, look at your heart. If you love those who are obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you dislike those who are sinful, فَفِيكَ خَيْرٌ, there is goodness in you. And Wallah yuhibbuk, Allah loves you. But if it is the opposite, you dislike those who are obedient and you love the people who are disobedient, فَلَيْسَ فِيكَ خَيْرٌ وَاللَّهُ يُبْغِضُكَ, there is no goodness in you and Allah is disliking you or dislikes you. وَالْمَرْءُ مَعَ مَنْ أَحَبَّ, in general we said every person will be resurrected with those that he loves, or even if he loves an object like a stone, will be resurrected with that. Now we want to continue from hadith number 4 is new. The narrator says, I heard Imam Sadiq alayhi salam saying, Hubbul abrar lil abrar, thawabun lil abrar. Abrar means righteous people. If righteous people love righteous people, good people love good people, this is thawabun. This is a good action, it's a hasana, they will be rewarded for that when you love good people. Hubbul abrar lil abrar fadilatun lil abrar. In some versions, instead of saying thawabun lil abrar, says fadilatun. It's a privilege, it's a merit. Again, this is a good thing. Hubbul fujjar lil abrar. If those who are sinful love those who are righteous, zaynun lil abrar. This is adornment, beautification for abrar. Because if you are righteous, if you are pious, and make such a good relation with people who are not obedient, but they still love you, this is good. Of course, no one who is from abrar would compromise to make bad people, appreciate. In that way, they would lose the love of the other, pious people. But if you are a pious person and behave in a nice way, even people who are not obedient will love you, and maybe gradually they will be attracted to religion. وَبُغْضُ الْأَبْرَارِ لِلْفُجَّارِ. If abrar dislike the sinful people, this is خِزْيٌ لِلْفُجَّارِ. This is a kind of disgrace for fujjar, for the sinful people. This is something that would make them think, wonder why, we are not loved by such people. Of course, as we have explained in some other places, in a sense, mu'min should love every servant of Allah. Even we should love those who are sinful. But in the sense that we love them as individuals, as person, but we don't like their sinful actions. But we want the best for them. We want to help them. If you don't really love them, then you don't, struggle to guide them, to help them. Okay? So it's not that we don't love them. We have great concern for them. Rasulullah had great concern even for the pagans who were killing Muslims, torturing Muslims. He had concern for them. He wanted their well-being. So we distinguish between appreciating the common humanity which is inside them and our approach to their actions or to their bad habits. We can dislike their bad actions, we can dislike their bad habits, and at the same time we can love them as people and therefore wish them the best, try to help them, etc. Another hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Imam said to Hamran. Hamran is brother of Zurara. Ya Hamran, inna lillah amudan min zabarjad. أعلاه معقود بالعرش وأسفله في تخوم الأراضين السابعة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a pillar. This can be metaphoric. This can be a language which is trying to explain something spiritual in physical terms. So Allah has a pillar from Zabarjad, and this is the jewelry which is very precious. It's green stones which are very precious. So this pillar, its upper side is Arsh. It's tied to Arsh, divine throne. But Asfaluhu, its bottom is in the very center of the earth, very lowest level of the earth. If we imagine 7 skies and 7 earths, this is in the 7th, the bottom of the 7th. On this pillar, there are 70,000 palaces, and in every palace, then there are, like places where there are houris, and all these palaces and companions, heavenly companions, are for people that love each other for the sake of Allah, and if they dislike anyone, it's for the sake of Allah. A'addallahu, in some versions says zalika lil mutahabbina fillah, those who love each other for the sake of Allah and they dislike, not dislike each other. It doesn't say mutabaghizin. Wal mubghizin, if they dislike anyone else, it's for the sake of Allah. They don't have personal problem with people. So al-hubbu fillah wal-bughdhu fillah is something that is very important, and we have discussed this in the shrine of Lady Masuma. We had 2 lectures which are available, love for the sake of God. So now we go to the next page, please. This is translation. One more page, please. The next chapter, that chapter finished with 5 hadiths. The next chapter is Babu Tabassum fi wujuh al-ikhwan, to smile in the face of your brother or sisters, to smile. Sometimes you don't know, maybe but I'm talking in general way, how much smiling can bring, joy to people, or not smiling can make people sad. I just remembered once we had a group from Academy of Philosophy of Kazakhstan. They came to Qom, and I went to hotel to take them for our meeting. So I remember in the lobby of hotel, when I arrived, some of them showed great joy because he saw me smiling, and he mentioned that. So for me was something, I just did it naturally. But even if I wanted to be just doing something to please them, I should have done it. But alhamdulillah, I did it naturally. And this person who is a philosopher, still he's a human being, because philosophers have also emotions. Some people think philosophers maybe have no emotions. Philosophers have also emotions. So he was touched by this. On the other hand, unfortunately, sometimes we have people that maybe they don't know, or maybe they have problem inside, but then they don't smile, they don't greet well, and they don't know how much pain they are causing. قال أبو الحسن الرضا عليه السلام, Imam Reza عليه السلام said, من خرج في حاجة ومسح وجهه بماء الورد لم يرهق وجهه قطر ولا ظل. If you go out for your haja and you put some rose water on your face, then inshallah you will not be humiliated, you will not face big challenges. وَمَنْ شَرَبَ مِنْ سُؤْرِ أَخِيهِ الْمُؤْمِنِ يُرِيدُ بِذَلِكَ التَّوَاضُعَ أَدْخَلَهُ اللَّهُ الْجَنَّةَ الْبَتَةَ. Su'r is the remainder of drink of someone, or can be even something. For example, maybe an animal even. Su'r is used for extra or remaining of drink of something. In this case, because in fiqh we discuss, for example, if someone has cat, for example, how is the ruling about su'r her? So this is why I'm saying it's not only human being. But here the discussion is that your mu'min brother, for example, was drinking, half of the cup is remaining. We say su'r al-mu'min shifa. Su'r al-mu'min shifa. Here it says, if you drink, whoever drinks from the extra drink of his faithful brother, يُرِيدُ بِذَلِكَ التَّوَاضُعَ, and he wants through this to gain humility or be humble. أَدْخَلَهُ اللَّهُ الْجَنَّةَ الْبَتَةَ. Allah will certainly make him enter heaven. Of course, my understanding is that this is when there are no signs of illness or epidemic, illness. For example, it's a time of COVID, and there is great chance that, this can be spreading through drinking from someone else, at that time maybe it's better to exercise precaution. Or your brother has cold, you know he has cold, he has flu. We are not talking about that. But there is no sign of illness, he looks healthy. But normally, unless you are very close to someone, like your children, between husband, wife, parents, you don't mind to drink from what is, for example, extra, or maybe food, for example, which is left over. But for others, many people don't want. But mu'minin should have this much of intimacy, this much of acquaintance, that they don't mind. Now, the part which is about this chapter, title of this chapter, smiling, tabassum. وَمَنْ تَبَسَّمَ فِي وَجْهِ أَخِيهِ الْمُؤْمِنِ. You smile to the face of your mu'min brother, so he's seeing that you are smiling. كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَهُ حَسَنَةً. Allah will register for him hasana. This action is considered by Allah and accepted, because when Allah writes down something as hasana, this is something which has passed all the tests. And therefore, وَمَنْ كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَهُ حَسَنَةً لَمْ يُعَذِّبْهُ. Whomsoever Allah writes for him, registers for him a hasana, Allah is not going to punish him. It's very beautiful. So one accepted action can guarantee that you go to heaven, or at least you won't be punished. If we can make sure that one action is accepted by Allah. Man kataballahu lahu hasanah lam yu'adhibhu. It's very beautiful. The second is from Imam Baqir alayhi salam. Jabir ibn Yazid al-Ju'fi says that Imam Baqir said, Tabassumur rajul fi wajhi akhihi hasanah. When someone smiles in the face of his brother, this is hasanah. Also, sarfuhu al-qadha anhu hasanah. Qadha, we have in Dua Nutbeh, هل قضيت عين فساعدتها عيني على القضاء. Or Amir al-Mu'minin in Khutbah Sheikh صبرت وفي العين قضى وفي الحلق الشجر. Qadha is like a thorn, something maybe even a small, but goes into the heart, goes to the eye, causes injury or bruise. So this is qadha. If there is, for example, a thorn on the way of your brother, or for example may touch and injure his hand, his foot, his face, you try to keep away this is hasana. وَمَا عُبِدَ اللَّهُ بِشَيْءٍ أَحَبَّ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ إِدْخَالِ السُّرُورِ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِ. It's very powerful. We have many hadiths actually about إِدْخَالُ السُّرُورِ فِي قُلُوبِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. But here Imam says, Allah has not been worshipped with anything more lovable to him than bringing joy to mu'minin. I think this means perhaps more than just making them laugh. Of course, to make them laugh, to make them, at least for a period of time, forget their problem, this is great. But if you can manage to help them overcome the source of sadness, For example, someone has a problem. Okay, you make a joke and he smiles, mashallah, thank you. But if you can stop the cause of the pain and sadness, that is greater. Maybe when Imam says Allah has never been worshipped by anything more lovable than bringing joy to the heart of mu'mineen, maybe this powerful statement is for when you bring joy and establish joy in their hearts. Not just for a few seconds, you make them laugh and then this person again is sad. Even, as I said, that is great, that you make them, even for a short period of time, relaxed. But it's better to make it in the way that the sadness stops. Then the next and final hadith for tonight, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, "Man akhadha an wajhi akhihi al-mu'min qadatan." Qada, ta is wahd, for wahd, that means one thorn from the face of his brother. He removes maybe a thorn, maybe there is something that can cause injury, or even something that doesn't look nice. For example, you want to remove it. All is good, but in particular, this is about qada, which is, as I said, something that can be sharp and can go inside the skin and cause, some injury. Kataballahu lahu ashra hasanat. Allah will write down for him 10 hasana. You may say, in the previous hadith we said, sarful qada'an hasana. But now we say 10 hasana. Yes, don't be surprised. Sometimes in our hadith, for the same action, different rewards are promised. For example, sometimes we say tafakkuru sa'a afdal min ibadat as-sana. Sometimes afdal min ibadat as-sittina sana. Sometimes afdal min ibadat as-sab'ina sana. Thinking for a while is better than ibadah for 1 year, or 60 years, or 70 years, of course, without thinking. This is not contradiction, because quality is very important. It can be 1 hasana, it can be, for some cases, 10 hasana, depend on the quality. وَمَنْ تَبَسَّمَ فِي وَجْهِ أَخِيهِ كَانَتْ لَهُ حَسَنًا. And if someone smiles to the face of his brother, then there is hasana for him. Inshallah, in the next session, we will talk about qada'u hawa'ij al-ikhwan, to help your brothers and sisters meet their needs. Very highly recommended and actually demanded. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Allahumma salli ala